Hello Vincent, aka Vanishing446. Here is my video response to your Buffy fan documentary questions, which I'm very excited about because I love Buffy. My name is Anjuli Velazquez. I make YouTube videos for my Anjuli TV web series, which is how you found me, I guess, because you saw that I have been reviewing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I've done the first 4 seasons already, and also Angel Season 1, and I am currently, right now, rewatching Buffy Season 5 and Angel Season 2. Question 1. When did you first hear about Buffy? What did you think about it then? I first heard about Buffy in 1997 when the show was premiering. I actually watched the movie in 92 with Christy Swanson, and I did like it. Yeah, it was, kind of cheesy and over the top, but I did like it. Since I heard it was going to be turned into a TV show, I watched religiously from the series premiere with Welcome to the Hellmouth until season 3, which then I actually stopped watching it then, back in the day, and it wasn't until earlier this year when I was flipping through channels on Logo that I saw that Buffy was on. It made me want to watch Buffy from start to finish, so I watched it on Netflix all the way through. That was the first time, earlier this year. Why did you start watching Buffy? What do you think of it then, and what do you think of it now? I started watching Buffy because I've always liked the whole vampire stories, and I also liked that it was about a girl who was only a few years older than I was, and she was juggling going to high school and trying to have a real life with killing vampires and saving the world constantly. What did I think of it then? I loved it back then. I was super psyched for it every week. And right now, I'm rewatching Buffy again for my reviews on Anjuli TV, so I love it still. What is your favorite scene from Buffy and why? My favorite scenes on Buffy are any time that Buffy and Angel are together. I absolutely love their relationship and their whole story. But more specifically, my favorites will probably, it's a toss-up between the first time that Buffy and Angel have sex at the end of Surprise, because you just can see how much they love each other, and the last episode, or the last 2 episodes, where Angel comes back to Sunnydale to help Buffy save the world again, and he ends up kind of helping her with Caleb. My least favorite scene, I guess it was any time that Buffy and Spike were having sex, because that was just a little weird for me. My favorite character on Buffy, ooh, that is a tough one. It's either between Buffy or Angel. Those are my 2 favorites, and it might be Buffy because, maybe because she's a female as well, but I always saw the show from her point of view and always, kind of felt what she was feeling. My least favorite character is either Dawn or Cordelia. I find them both very annoying. When you talk about Buffy around people who haven't seen it, what kind of reactions do you get? Well, I normally try not to talk about Buffy around people who haven't seen it because they just don't get it, or they think it's something cheesy or something, they don't understand the awesomeness that is Buffy. How often do you rewatch episodes? Do you rewatch specific episodes or start at the beginning and go through the series? I'm doing it right now for my reviews for Anjuli TV, but I've only seen the entire series once all the way through from start to finish. This is my second time from start to finish. But if I do rewatch, it's normally season 2, season 3, or then any other time that Buffy and Angel are together in the later seasons. What, if any, Buffy memorabilia do you have? The only Buffy stuff I have right now are comic books. This was the first one I got from Comic Store here in Atlanta. I like it a lot. It's a Buffy comic panel to panel. And I also got the first 2 volumes of Buffy Season 8 at the same comic book store, and then I got the rest off of Amazon. I do have Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, and Volume 6. I ordered Volume 7, Twilight, off of Amazon.com, and I should be getting it in a few weeks, so I'm excited about that one. I also really want to get a Sunnydale t-shirt, but I haven't done that yet. I don't have any money. Over the course of the show, how did you feel about the storyline? What did you like and what did you hate? I liked everything. I didn't like that it took so long for Buffy and Angel to finally be in a relationship together, and I didn't like that obviously he turned into Angelus, because that sucked. But it actually worked out well, because I really liked seeing David Boreanaz play that side of him. I also hated that he left the show, but Angel is such a good series too, so it makes sense, and I watched them both. Going back now, you know, and having seen the entirety of Buffy, the things that I really liked, that they ended up blowing up the school at the end of season 3, which then they rebuilt it season 7. I like that too, and that Dawn ended up going to school there. I did not like at all Dawn's character being brought into the show, because it was just so much better when Buffy didn't have a sister. I also didn't like when her and Spike were having sex. I mean, I understand she was very depressed, and it was like total self-destruction, and she was just not Buffy anymore in that season, so I guess it kind of makes sense, but I still just didn't like it. It was just a little too gross for me. Has Buffy affected your life in any way? If so, how? If not, why not? Well, Buffy's affected my life in the way that I love it so much, I am reviewing it for my Anjuli TV episodes. So, you know, here it's years after the show has ended and I'm still talking about it, so I guess it's affected my life in that way. What, if anything, have you learned from Buffy? Well, I guess you just learn life lessons, like high school sucks for everybody, and we all have stuff to go through. Everybody kind of has to grow up and make their way through life. Do you incorporate Buffy-style speech in how you speak? I do not speak how they do on Buffy, because they just shorten most words, and I just don't really talk like that. My favorite quote from Buffy has got to be season 3, when Buffy and Angel Buffy decides to take a break from her and Angel being together, and he asks, "Are you still my girl?" And she says, "Always." That's my absolute favorite quote from Buffy. Did you ever cry, tear up while watching the show, and if so, how many times, at what? Oh my god, I always cried and teared up while watching the show. I mean, pretty much anytime Buffy cried, I cried, because I always see the show through her point of view. But I especially cried at the end of season 2, Becoming Part 2, like when Angel comes back and she kisses him and she hugs him and then she has to kill him and she leaves Sunnydale. That part I cry at the most. And also season 3, when her and Angel break up, and it's that scene where Buffy is in her bedroom with Willow and she's telling her about it, and she just says something about, like, she's like, "I can't breathe, and I think horrible is still coming," and that part I cry a lot too. And then also at the end of season 5 with The Gift, when Buffy dies, obviously cry a lot in that episode. Do you sing along to Once More with Feeling? If so, which songs? Do you have a favorite song? I do not sing along with Once More with Feeling. I've only actually seen that episode once, the first time that I rewatched Buffy in its entirety. And I don't like it as much as everybody else does. I mean, I don't not like it, but it's definitely not one of my favorite episodes, so I wouldn't sing along to any song. Have you heard about the Buffy movie being developed without the involvement of Joss Whedon and without the supporting characters? How do you feel about that? I have heard about that, and I think that's just ridiculous. I mean, the reason why it's so popular is because everybody loves Joss Whedon and loves the characters that he's created, so how could you even think about making a movie without them? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your love of the show? 1 being you saw Buffy and liked it, and 10 being you are a Buffy fanatic who's memorized every line from every episode. Well, I love Buffy, but I don't know every line from every episode, so I guess maybe I'm more like an 8. I know a lot of lines from the earlier seasons, like seasons 2 and 3 maybe, but I don't know them all. So yeah, and a solid 8. Do you think that Buffy is culturally and socially relevant today? How and why? How much do you relate to the Scoobies, general issues, going through high school, and if applicable, into the rest of your life? Well, I do think that Buffy is socially relevant today. I mean, I think high school doesn't really change. Same issues that people go through in high school, it's an age thing. So no matter what generation or what decade you're in, you're always going to have the same issues that you have to go through in life. But culturally, I mean, we don't dress the same as we did in the late 90s, so that part is different. Season 4, with the first year of college being kind of hard for Buffy, I mean, I think that happens to a lot of people, and you just kind of have to get through it, get over it. Describe Buffy in a sentence. Buffy is awesome. That is the best sentence to describe Buffy.